Hello and welcome back to Caribbean Cowboys Treasures and Adventures. This is our grand reveal video for the Dino Lab excursion that my family and I and a couple other families took out to Rockledge, Florida to meet our friend paleontologist Chris, who was so kind and so nice to show us exactly how he finds fossils, conserves them, preserves them. And I ended up buying something from our friend Chris, and this is the chance I want to show all of you what I purchased. I'm very excited about it, and let's waste no more time. So here we go. It's a brown cardboard box. No, not really. So let's take out some of our bubble wrap here, because they were kind enough, his assistants were kind enough to preserve these for me so I didn't chip them or break them on the way home. They're very old and I just couldn't resist. So for those of you who put in your comments and guessed what we purchased, let's see if you were correct. And here they are. Look at these beauties. These are a set, the only set they had in their stock of matching woolly rhinoceros lower jaw teeth. Now, let's take a little closer look at these wonderful, beautifully preserved woolly mammoth Pleistocene epic teeth. So these did come from the woolly rhinoceros, which was similar to our white rhinoceros, except a couple of differences. It was larger. We're talking about it could get up to about 12 feet is what scientists from the bone record or the fossil record were able to deduce. So we're talking about 12 feet. It was covered with hair. So the rhinoceroses we see today don't have hair. These were covered with hair, and the purpose of the hair was to keep them warm in the icy, very cold, frigid temperatures where they lived in Europe and in Asia. Now, a lot of these come from either the North Sea when they're dredging for fish, or they're trying to catch fish or other types of shellfish, and they also come from the permafrost of Siberia in Russia, in northern Russia. Now, these are no exception. These did come from Siberia, and they just have a beautiful kind of red, orangish tinge to them. And we can see that these came from the matching, these are from the same jaw of the same woolly rhinoceros. So this is the flat side right here. This is the side on the lower jaw that they would use to grind the vegetation that they ate. They were not carnivores. They were herbivores. And you can see the roots right here. So you can see they had two roots right here, and they're just beautifully preserved. They came from opposite sides of the jaw, of the same jaw, and it's very hard to find because a lot of times these animals would die, animals would eat them, and they'd carry off the bones and the meat to different places, so the bones got scattered, or just the changing climate or the topography would move them around, or if there were rivers or water, it would scatter them. So to find two that were from the same rhinoceros is pretty cool. So I had to buy both of them as a set. It's like going to adopt children, and you only adopt one and not the other. So had to adopt these for my collection, and again, they are just very beautiful, very well preserved teeth. I'm going to show you some close-up pictures as well. Some other information about the woolly rhinoceros. They had two horns. They had one that was smaller and it was right between their eyes, and then they had a much longer horn that could get up to 4 feet. So imagine that, a curved horn up to 4 feet, covered in hair, could weigh scientists believe somewhere between 2 to 3 tons. I mean, you're talking, 5,000-6,000 pounds, just a massive beast. They were acclimated very well to that cold environment because of the hair, because of the fat that they had as far as their body composition, and just really incredible. They did interact with early humans, and there is evidence of that from drawings of the woolly rhinoceros inside caves. I believe the most famous one is the Cheviot cave in France, but there were other drawings way before that of the woolly rhinoceros. So we know that they interacted with humans. Some of the bones in the fossil record have markings from edged weapons. So the early hunters, gatherers, they did hunt them for their meat, but also for their bones and their horns that they could use to make weapons to hunt other animals with. So they were hunted a lot. They became extinct about, they think, 13,000, 14,000 years ago. So they're from the Pleistocene epoch, amazing creatures to see what they would have looked like, at least in the artist renderings, and to have 2 lower jaw teeth from a woolly rhinoceros in such well-preserved condition is just incredible. One last note. When you look at these, they really pop, the color, and they're going to look a little different, in fact, very different from when they first come out of the permafrost in Siberia or wherever some of these teeth are found, because they're going to be covered in dust or clay or dirt, and it is a very precise, time-consuming, sometimes monotonous process to clean these teeth. And so these were professionally cleaned in the Dino lab, and then in order to keep them from flaking off, because some of the parts of these teeth have cracks, in order to fill those gaps and holes, there's a mixture of acetone and a polymer. It's an ethyl polymer, and it's mixed in, and then it's almost painted on these teeth, and it goes into the cracks, and it's almost like a glue that kind of adheres these different cracks in the teeth so that they don't fall apart over time. They're just sturdier, and it will also make the color pop. So again, these have this really nice orange and dark red tint to them, and I couldn't walk away without these beauties. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on another episode of Caribbean Cowboys Treasures and Adventures. Gatorbait signing out.